Hey guys, how are you? Thank you for being here with us. If you catch us on this live video or on the recording, if you see us on the recording, write it in and say hi and tell us how you're feeling today. We wanted to talk about something very serious, in fact, about our health, how important it is to all of us, especially during this time, and also before the holidays. Stress naturally just kind of compiles in your life, and you might not know what to do or where to turn. And so David and I came up with a little something that we hope would help you. Excuse me. A few years back, I was working a high intensity of of a job where sales were just it was just too much. And what happened was my body, so I went through a really stressful period, and then the Monday afterwards, my heart, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, me and my kids were eating an after school snack, and all of a sudden I was on the phone with somebody and my heart literally went out of my neck and out of my chest, and I knew something was off. And so I tried to do like slower breathing. I tried to get, grounded, and there was nothing stopping this thing. And thank God my husband called me in that very moment, and his mom took me to the emergency room, and my heart was at 200 beats a minute. And it was steady at that pace. It was as if my heart was just, something triggered it and it just stayed at that pace. And I was like, holy shit, like, what am I going to do? And there was no stopping it. And they're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a shot of adenosine. It'll put the heart rate back to 100. What I'm saying to you is that my heart did something that was out of my control. I couldn't control it in any way, shape, or form. There wasn't breathing I could do, techniques. There wasn't thoughts of peace and wonder on, it literally, the heart just took its own beat. It's like an electrical machine, right? And so in the emergency room, they do the adenosine. And then I remember for a minute just being like, wait a minute, I'm going to get injected like Pulp Fiction right now? You know what I mean? When they, in the heart, like, but it was in the wrist. But still, I was like, what is happening to me? How is this happening to me? I'm a young person. This was like 6 years ago. So I was like 38, 39. Like, what is happening in my life? And so then and then I ended up having a procedure done, an ablation in my heart. They had to burn a piece of my heart. And then after that, I kind of changed, but not really. I still hit it hard for another like 3 years. And then I wanted a different way. There was something within me that wanted a different way. And I was still a tornado inside, and I no longer wanted to live that way. David, do you want to share what happened to you with stress? And then we're going to tell you how we came full circle.
Yeah. So what happened with me was I ended up for years and years and years with putting in like 10, 12, 14-hour days, ironically, as a teacher. Teachers work really hard. And then I opened my school in the first year, and it was so stressful to get the school open. It's like moving mountains to open a school, and you have all these little humans running around. And the end of that school year, I actually was having numbness in my ear. I felt like someone was stabbing me with a pin, like a sharp, like sewing needle in my ear. And then I also had kind of like weird tastes in my mouth. So I went to the doctor, and I typically don't go to the doctor. I waited way too long. So I went to the doctor after like a week of this, and he was like, oh, you have TMJ. And, like locked, like the jaw is kind of tight or whatever. So he said, just, take some Advil, whatever. And then that next day, I ended up having a lot of like weird metallic taste in my mouth, and the stabbing in your ear was getting more and more intense. So I thought I had an ear infection. Then I wondered if it was a toothache. So I called my dentist. And so the doctor said, no ear infection, no TMJ. And then I called my dentist's emergency line, and she was like, that sounds like it could be more serious. And then she was asking me some questions, and she's like, what's going on? And then I looked in the mirror while I was talking to her, and I noticed that I couldn't actually close this eye. Like, it was literally like this, and I couldn't close it. So it was like paralyzed open. And I was like, what's going on? And then she's like, oh, thank God it's not on the other side, or you could be having a stroke. Like, the dentist is on the phone with me, and she's like, call 911. So we go to the emergency room, and the person at the front desk was like, "Oh, you have Bell's palsy." I was like, "What's that?" So Bell's palsy is actually paralysis of the face. And it's a nerve issue where your nerves are not able to actually like, go through or whatever. So what happens is it creates paralysis, and it gets like a drooping type thing. So my face was, and it's dangerous because you could get like a rock could fly into your eye. Like, that's a funny thing. It's like, that's the most dangerous thing, but it's highly uncomfortable. You're super tired. And it's like having mono. All you can do is sleep. So I was sleeping. I couldn't close my eye for like 4 weeks. And then the stabbing in the ear lasted for about 4 months. And so it was at that moment that I was like, the school closed, and it was July. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, my body's not allowing me to live the way I was living with small children, opening schools and running around like crazy all the time. Yeah. So that was the moment I decided that I was going to change the way I live.
Yeah. So, sorry. It sounds like there's background noise, David. Do you hear any?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay. So, David and I began doing these different courses, self-help things. You know how you read different things about getting spiritual or doing all sorts of meditative stuff. So we had our own separate journey. And then we met under Dr. Shivali Sabari. She's amazing. She was running some courses about tapping into your inner self and all that kind of stuff. So I was really curious about it in 2014, 2013, because she addressed issues with kids. And at the time, I'm like, I want to be the best parent. I don't want to be stressed out with my kids all the time. I don't want to be nervous Nelly morning, noon, and night with my children. And especially, I don't want this to ever happen again to my heart.
Right.
And so then in about 2017, 2018, David and I met, and he was saying that he wanted to change the whole school system. And I was 100% for that, in honor of, the way kids learn and the way teachers want to teach. Like, I want everyone to win, but I really wanted there to be a new way. And so David and I have that in common, where we both really see the world in a totally different lens. And we started becoming even better friends when the pandemic started. March 13th, I wanted to gather.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, my favorite day, the most lucky day. David and I, at the beginning of the pandemic, were like, both had the same vision of like gathering leaders together and just like making sure everybody's okay, right? Because leaders have a responsibility for people. And so, we collaborated and we did some really cool stuff. But during our journey, we decided to pay attention to our everyday life and how we were feeling on the inside. And we both agreed that we wanted to live like a peaceful, chill life where we are guided by guidance and intuition and following the tugs in life and doing what we want to do, because we both realized like it's not worth it to kill yourself for a job. It is not worth it. I mean, if you're not alive, you can't do your job. So is there a way that you could actually love every single part of what you do and have enough energy for your life and your family and be kind and not worry about your health, that you're going to have face paralysis again, or me having, my heart pound out of my chest. So we have been running a program for several weeks now, and we are also life coaches. David has this hub called Heart of the Matter, super next level. If you want to join that Facebook group, you'll be able to learn so much about the next level in learning things, things that you don't typically learn at school, we'll just say. So it's really cool if you want to join that group. But what we are going to be hosting in December on Wednesday nights. So when you're chilling out at home on Wednesday nights, I don't know what your hours are, but I was talking to a couple of police officers who I think this would be a perfect fit for somebody who, works kind of crazy hours or just wants to relax, or you're really feeling overwhelmed during this time, or you're a workaholic, or you are a business owner, or you are a therapist.
Teacher, yeah. Anyone, yeah. That's just working. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're really a worker and you're always busy, we would suggest to come with us on Wednesday nights, and we'll do we're going to make it really simple. It's going to be a Facebook group on Wednesday nights. You click on it and you chill with us for an hour. But not just chill, like literally transform the way, and you'll be able to learn how to be the eye in a storm of your life in every moment. And he and I, David and I, how long have we been doing this now?
So, well, I mean, years, but really, really, really precisely, like the last several, since Friday, March 13th. So, that 8 months? Yeah, every day as much as possible, very precisely, very specifically, very, intentionally.
Yeah. And how do you feel, David? Like, how has your life changed from the way it was to now?
Yeah. Well, I think what's important to hear is that we're sold a story that's actually totally complete BS. And there's two BSs. There's the bullshit and there's belief systems. So there are two BSs that we're going to break apart. I got that from Michael Beckwith. I'm not going to act like I came up with that. He said that this morning. But the difference for me is that the stories and the belief systems we've been sold is that you have to basically always be busy, always work hard, and always be striving for this external achievement in order to be successful. And what I found in the last several months is that the success that I had in the past was wonderful. And I had a lot of success and I've done a lot of things and achieved a lot of successful outcomes. But the difference is, and I've heard people saying this, especially recently that are launching things, there's a different air and there's a different energy. Obviously, there's a dark cloud of the pandemic and the racial injustice and all the things we've experienced in 2020. But where there is dark, there is light. And the light for me has been, how do you really figure out, how do you really live your life in a way that's not the grind. And even just this morning, my wife was taking the kids out. At one point she was on here, hi Julie. My wife was taking the kids out to the beach for the day. And it reminded me of when I used to work from home and we'd like hustle the kids out of the door. It was like around the same time, like 8:30 in the morning. And my whole body kind of like shut down. And I had to actually sit in meditation for half an hour because I didn't even recognize it for a minute. But so the way it's different for me is that I'm actually really aware now of energy. And I'll tell you right now, when I started my first school in 2010 or 2011, I read a book by executive coaches that used to train Olympic athletes. And they said, it's all about energy. And they took what they would train Olympic athletes to do, which is manage your energy. Because think about an Olympic athlete. You train for 3 years and 364 days, and you do one day, and that's it, right? And so they would teach them how to manage their energy. And so I read this book as I was like killing myself as a principal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the secret. You have to manage your energy. And then fast forward several years later, I realized that's the key to everything. And so what I do now is I watch how I'm going through my day very intentionally. And if I'm pushing too hard and I start to feel like I felt this morning, I recognize that something was triggered within me that I was going to have to be really, really fast, go. And I could tell that my nervous system was like, do you want Bell's palsy again? Do you want to be sick all the time? Do you want all the problems you used to have to come back? Then push yourself to, because I was like, oh, the kids are gone. I haven't had the house. So I'm going to make a list of 408 things to do. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it was like my whole body actually shut down. And that's what we're hoping to work with you guys on, is how do we actually not live like that anymore? And there's actually no choice moving into 2021. There's no choice. We can't live the way we used to live. There's just no choice.
Yeah. And one thing, I'm echoing on this side. It'll usually take a minute and then it'll stop. Okay.
You're good. Yeah.
So what David and I are saying is that we've basically mastered this ability to be in the eye of a storm in our life. Like, we've had a lot of things happen in the last 8 months, a lot of big life changes that happened in the last 8 months. And we have been able to withstand it all in a beautiful, healthy way, where we have been creating out of this time bigger and brighter and more focused, clearly, never felt better, more energy, alive, our intuition's heightened. We've become magnets towards the most beautiful people. And I say this only because this is the truth. This is how real this is. And we have the capacity and bandwidth and space to help people that are overworked and overstressed. And we have the power through our own embodied peace that we feel. And so if you want to join us on Wednesday nights from your phone, from a Facebook group. We will be able to help you. You can just chill for like an hour. We'll give you the insight. We'll give you the clarity, and the peace. And we'll just, it's usually just guided meditations that we do, and just some techniques that, and just our presence and being together. There's something magical that happens when people come together for peace. And we know this, we've led many things that have done this and proven this. We have a steal of a price. The only reason we're doing this is because of what we're all experiencing right now. But this is David and this is our livelihood. This is what we do now for a living. So I hope you'll become a part of it. How should they get in touch with us, do you think, David?
I think the easiest way would just be to reach out to us through Facebook Messenger or just comment on the post here. And it's 3 Wednesdays live, December 2nd, December 9th, December 16th. And what time did we say, Staci? You said 7 p.m., correct? 7 p.m.
Pacific, 9 Central, 10
9
Eastern.
Central, 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain.
Yeah.
I have a coaching client now that's in Mountain Time, so I can say all of them. There's 7, 8, 9, and 10 on Wednesday nights. And the 4th Wednesday will be a recorded one that you can watch at your leisure or anytime that you feel like it, because it's like a couple days before Christmas. But I did want to just kind of maybe close with what are some of the things that we will be covering in the 3-4 weeks that we're spending with these guys, just like the highlights.
One of the biggest things that completely change our life is our lens, our perception lens. So there's 2 lenses that we'll be talking about in depth, how you go from your limited mind when you're totally stressed and you're enmeshed and you're like so tight and you don't know what you're going to do. And then your thoughts kind of take over in your nervous system, and then how to navigate from there to more flow, peace, where you can actually see what's happening in your life and not feel like, oh my God, I have to go run for something to eat or something sweet or a drink or, a drug or whatever. And we really want to hone in on just this healthy habit of, switching your perceptive lens and knowing how to get into the present moment. And that's something that David and I have literally been, this is our pride and joy. This is like, having the present moment shift has been everything to us.
Yeah. And then I would add really learning how to, or practicing, or really getting very much better at managing your energy. So the flow of your day, like, are you going really fast and then crashing, or are you kind of like, how are you going through your day? And like I said, I learned this 10 years ago and it changed my life just from reading a book. And so we want to get really specific about how we can help you manage your energy, which will in turn help you manage your stress and show up better for your family, show up better for your kids, show up better for your partners, whoever it is you're working with and interacting with throughout the day, and increasing your sleep, like all these things that really make a humongous difference in how you go through your day. It's really, really critical that, you're not running through your day like a crazy person and then, you're really having road rage and you're having issues with this person and that person because you're really not taking the time that you need to manage your energy. So we are so excited. So excited.
Yeah, we're excited. And at the same time, we're taking it really seriously. So, we hope that you.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say $99. So this is definitely the cheapest course we've ever offered. So just to clarify, Heart of the Matter is now offering different levels of different programs. And really the target audience is everyone. But breaking it down even more specifically is like the healers, the leaders, educators, parents, I would say are the main audience. But you see that those 4 words could really be extrapolated out to like everyone. But really, we really do want to take care of the healers, people that are, taking care of others, parents, teachers, leaders. And so Heart of the Matter will offer different levels of different programs. We have our Inner Sangha series right now, which is more of a mastermind group. And that's a little more of a expensive option because we're going really deep with these people, with this 13 people, some of them are on here. And, but the $99 is really just to offer something that's like pretty affordable. And, most of these courses that would go for $300 or $400 for maybe $250 at the least. So we wanted to give a really reasonable, fair price just to ensure we can start serving people. And it's very important to me that Heart of the Matter is all inclusive and all accessible. So that's why we're doing the free courses, the $99, the more in depth, and there's basically a place for everyone. So if money's an issue, reach out to us, but there'll be free courses too. But we'd love to have you guys and keep your eyes peeled because there'll be more and more programs coming out of Heart of Matter. Like it's the river, the flow is coming. So keep your eyes peeled. But this is the next one and we're super excited about. Anything else, Staci?
No, that's it. I hope this will be the time you're calming.
Yeah, exactly. Both. The energy. Calm, time of your life, all together.
Yep. Light.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
See you all later. Bye.